Welcome to Guitars, Bars, and Local Stars, hosted by Mark Skey and Lee Pons. Covering all things music, from live performances and local stars to every facet of the music biz, from venue ownership to musician management. Brought to you by GoTonight.com, James World Entertainment, and Billy McKnight and the Soul Circus Cowboys. Ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Mark Skey and Lee Pons.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is Mark. Thank you, Lee. And this is Guitars, Bars, and Local Stars, brought to you by Go Tonight, James World Entertainment, and Billy McKnight and the Soul Circus Cowboys. We're glad you're here. Like I said, my name is Mark. This is my buddy Lee. How's it going, Lee?
I'm good. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but...
Don't kiss me.
Yeah. I'll wait till next week for that one. And
appreciate it.
Didn't you you were on a show here this week, weren't you, as a guest?
Yeah, with the Where the Party At girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, with as I call it, Shetty, you know, and Rock and Reza. Those girls are nuts. I'll tell you what. we ought to start the show like they do. The pre-interviews like they do over at the Freaky Tiki.
I think you guys started that show about 2 hours before the show started.
Something like that, yeah. It was interesting.
Anyway.
It was fun.
But
thanks, girls, again.
Anyway, here we are, and we are, the theme of the show today is going to be musician compensation. We've been doing a lot of advertising for it and getting a lot of interest. We got a couple of guests here today on both sides of the fence of this issue, and I'm going to let Lee take care of one introduction, and I'll take care of the others. So go ahead, Lee.
All right, here to my left is a good friend of mine, a fellow Tennessee squire. She owns the Pittsburgh Mix down in St. Pete on 66th Street, and her name is Miss Dawn Barrett, and she is right here. And Dawn, tell us a little bit about yourself in Pittsburgh and that kind of stuff, some of the things going on.
Well, first of all, the biggest thing that we have going on right now at Pittsburgh Mix is our Vocal Search Extravaganza. It's a 8-week contest that is promoting for vocals. It's basically a karaoke contest. You could bring in your own CDG if you'd rather.
That is a big deal. It's like not just a karaoke contest.
Right.
It's huge.
You get a really big prize.
Yeah, the $6,000.
Yeah. It's not cash. It's a recording contract, basically. So just so everyone knows, it's like worth $6,000.
A St. Pete Idol.
Yes.
I like this.
Yes. It's you get this. All the karaoke contestants must sign up the day of every Thursday at 7:00. And then the grand prize is sponsored by Cabin Productions and iShine Entertainment. They are the ones doing. You get a green screen video. You get just for being first place. Last week they offered the first and second and third place winners the green screen video. So they're going to be working on that coming up this week.
Oh, cool! And
then also you also get the grand prize winner gets the 5-disc CD original album that's fully produced. You get a glass CD of your 5 songs, a complete music video of one of the songs, and plus great other prizes. You know, donations have been given to us from different sponsors, like Hungry Howie's has given us. They helped promote this, and they gave us some coupons to give to the contestants.
Any genre, any kind of music they want?
Anything they want.
Oh, heck, man, we have them and some of the winners afterwards when they're done with some of the videos. Well, that'd be cool.
The goal is to try to get them, to be placed in bands and stuff, too. So bands this will help them, find singers.
Yeah. This is a big deal. This will be cool.
I believe, Lee, you're going to be a judge of this.
Yes, the fate is in my hands on the 24th, I think it is, right?
Right.
Right, which is not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
We have other
judges. The
judges are basically, we have... Mayhem Magazine is going to judge 1 week.
No, Anthony?
Anthony will judge 1 week. We have some we've had the bartender judge. We've had,
Which one, Brad?
No, Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, okay.
Yeah,
she's cool. I like Jamie.
Yeah, we've had different, we're going to have different
kind
celebrity
of rotating.
Judges. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I got to put a disclaimer here because I work over with Dawn at Pittsburgh Mix every Tuesday night, and I host a trivia night over there.
Cool.
And stuff. Well, at least so far. I don't know. We haven't talked yet. But... But
we're trying.
But yeah, we're trying. So you guys, it's like, do you want to come over here and get stumped by Lee? Come down Tuesday night about 8:00 at Pittsburgh.
We did it right before Christmas, and Those were some tough questions.
They were and they were Christmas questions too. I was like, what's the name of the kid in the manger? Charles. And I'm like, oh God, help me.
You have another event coming up this week, a live event with. I know the reason I know about it is because they're friends of mine, the band Sugar Fix, with Key Bland on drums and Jason Taylor on.
Mayhem Local Live, another Mayhem magazine, is promoting this event. It's all 3 original bands: Sugar Fix, 7 Years Past, and Sounds of Chaos.
Lisa Larkin from 7 Years Past. Awesome band.
Yeah, so the show's doors open at 8. The first band goes on at 9:30. They each play about an hour, and they're pre-selling the tickets. Those are ticket sales for original music. They're selling them at $7 a piece.
Okay, and what night is that?
Saturday night.
That's Saturday night.
This Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a good event. Those are all good bands. I'm familiar with all of them.
I'll tell you what, Pittsburgh Mix is, like I said, I'm a little biased and stuff, but they're Yankees and from Pittsburgh, and I'm from New Orleans. But it's a really cool place. I like the place. It's a huge stage. The place is really well run and really there's a cool club to go to. If you haven't gone there yet, you gotta go and stuff. Now, why don't you tell us about our buddy over here on the right?
One quick thing to Dawn. I want to thank you for coming in, Dawn, as a venue owner.
Oh, thanks.
I know that you've probably been getting a little heat from people saying, why would you want to place yourself in that position? But I appreciate you being here.
Well, I'm glad I'm here because I didn't know if I'd make it thanks to DMV.
Yeah. Thank you, Florida DMV, for getting around on time.
Yeah, I made some phone calls.
All right. Okay, to my right over here, I have Mr. Mike Sales. He's a singer-songwriter. And it's funny, I had met Mike. I didn't even know this till he walked into the studio today before the show. I'd met Mike several years ago, kind of through some stuff, and here he is, shows up, and we were like, hey, man, remember me? Yeah, remember me? Yeah, So Mike's here, and he's brought some of his original music with him.
Oh, is this,
Sounds like we have a phone call. Hello?
Hello?
We'll get back to Mike in a second.
my name's Dave Corba.
Yeah, hi, Dave. How are you?
How's it going, Dave?
All right, thanks.
We weren't ready for you yet, but go ahead.
Hey, it's going good.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that.
Am I breaking up? He said, let me move. And see if I
Actually,
can get
turn
a
your
little-
computer down. There's like a 4-second delay, so you want to turn your computer down. I've always wanted to say
Yeah,
that.
I'm walking away from it. Sorry about it.
Yeah, there's gonna.
Hey, Lee, it's good to talk to you again. Last time you and I met was over at Dockside.
Oh,
Mark,
I remember you,
coming
yeah.
by and auditioning with you. I think what you guys are doing is awesome. Website looks great. And I listened to the last week's broadcast, and there was a lot of good information.
Well, thank you.
So I appreciate you guys doing that. And
Appreciate you watching.
I do want to ask the lady there, Dawn, I think it is, from Pittsburgh Paints.
Pittsburgh Mix.
Yeah, is she still there?
Yes,
She's right here.
Do you have a Harbor Blue?
Okay.
Periwinkle.
I'm just getting started this year, so a lot of the questions you probably heard tons of these before, but I think it's important that artists, musicians, and bands need to be able to understand the other side of the coin, and I'm glad that you took some time to jump on the air with these guys to maybe answer some of the questions like I'm going to ask you.
Thank
I'm
you.
not putting you in the hot seat. I just have a couple of questions that I'm sure you'd be the best person to ask.
Here we go.
Maybe. I hope.
No, honestly.
Well, first off, yes, it is a full liquor bar, in case you're asking. All right, we get that out of the way right now.
Great drink prices.
This is true.
Well, what I want to know is, as an artist is boils down to, say I enter into a contract with you and you agree to hire me, all hypothetical, and normally from an artist standpoint, we'd love to get paid up front and all 100%. And I know from a venue standpoint, they would like to pay sometime well after the show is over, so to speak. And I'm wondering, what's a good middle ground there to shoot for? I know everybody has their own opinions on that, but I'm kind of curious to hear from a bar owner's standpoint what you would prefer to see.
Well, the way I handle it is in my bar right now is everybody is paid at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's no prepayment because what if you don't show?
Right, and I totally understand that. And I know from artist standpoint, too, they hate to load up all the stuff and get someplace and find out, no, we had to cancel it. So I'm
Yeah.
sure you understand why somebody might want to get paid
Right.
up front. But
Dave, let me.
I can see your point too.
David, let me just jump in real quick. I think you'll find,
Yeah.
especially if you're just starting out with a band in the area, playing local clubs and stuff, 99.9% of everything that you're going to be dealing with is making a verbal deal with a bar or club owner and collecting cash at the end of the night.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
I've ever collected.
Yeah,
ever from a
you
club
may, if you're
first.
lucky enough to get signed into some contracts with festivals or things like that. You may be, and that's the only time you're really probably going to be entering into any
Okay.
contractual type thing at this point.
Right now,
Yeah,
everything's
so
all a
I'm worried
gentleman's
about
agreement.
crap way down the road. Then basically.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to worry. We're going to talk more about the payment and that kind of stuff because Dawn has a really cool and interesting way, a novel way of how she actually works the bands and payments and that kind of stuff, which which is actually very, very cool.
Let's keep it
We'll
clean,
talk about
okay?
that later.
Right.
Yeah, we're going.
Hey, David.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah,
though.
David. Can I just finish introducing Mike here, and so just keep watching us. And send us an email if you got more questions. I'll try to answer them on the air so that we can just
Absolutely.
kind of keep moving here and get everything we need covered, okay?
No
And
problem.
appreciate
Thanks
the-
a lot, man, and I'll stay tuned.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Good hearing from you again, David. Good,
Thanks,
good.
David.
Thanks again.
Hey, good
Bye,
luck,
guys.
David.
Okay, so
Who is this guy?
this is Mr. Mike Sales, and
Who is this?
he's a local singer-songwriter, guitar player. And Mike, why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Well, I've been a singer ever since I was a little kid, and I kind of knew I wanted to do that. I got into some local bands back in California, and from there I toured as the lead vocalist of a cover band around the western states for about 6 years. Went to Hawaii, Alaska, and had a blast, and there was this thing in my head that said,
That's a
you know,
commute.
those people those people on television, they have the good jobs. I have I've got the stay in the cheap motel job. I have the stay in the band house job, but those guys have the tour bus job. That's what I want. And so, you watch these shows on television and you
do.
think that if you show up to Nashville and you just sing a note, they'll say, well, where have you been? And so, flash forward, before I came here, I had logged up a pretty long career as a nightclub manager in Nashville because it doesn't work that way. And I saw some cool stuff. I recorded there. The talent is world class down there, and I just wound up here by a couple wrong turns and some misunderstandings, and fell in love with the place. And one of the things I realized here is that you can make a living. You can show up to a place and say, I sing, and some people will give you a shot, and when you get that shot, it's just, it's kind of like a game of Monopoly. You get yourself a gig, and then you get some people coming to it, and before you know it, you get a better gig.
Mhm.
And a year or two into that whole deal, I was singing with tracks because I had never really learned how to play a guitar. So about 4 years ago, September, a gentleman by the name of Rick Fass taught me how to play guitar from a dead stop to last year. All I did was play guitar and sing at the beach, and I had my best year ever.
Wow.
Well, that's
So-
cool. So you're just doing the tracks and singing on top of the tracks.
I was just
Before
doing the tracks, and I went from singing with a live band
Mhm.
to managing clubs to singing with tracks.
So basically, he
And,
was doing what the contestants in
basically.
your contest.
Yeah,
are
you
doing.
can't be in the contest, by the way. No.
Oh, I
No.
hosted karaoke for a
If
while.
I can't
before
be in it, you can't. Yeah.
that was a step. I DJ'd, hosted karaoke, and then I said, hey, I got all these tracks, and then I started singing with the tracks, and
Right.
it's just been a upward step progression of.
This
like I
contest
said.
isn't closed to everybody. I mean, it's open to everybody.
No, I'm just-
So some people might just feel
Don's
like
gonna
there's a
smack
banner.
me now.
Anybody can join. We're encouraging everybody to come, and it's based on a lot of audience participation as well. So to come out and have a good time. That's what we're looking to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
No. Yeah.
We're trying to have fun. That's what life's about. Have fun.
It's absolutely about
When did that
having fun.
happen? All right, cool. So were you playing mostly in the Amarillo Island now, in that area now?
Yeah, I'm 100% in the 941 area code, so Anna Maria and Siesta Key.
But you're also branching out now. You told me before.
Yeah, when before the show we were talking about now that I've got a real solid schedule in 941, what I primarily want to do is write songs and then do shows where I play those songs. And so at my cover gigs, I don't attempt to try and sound like the artist or anything like that. I'm trying to hone in on my style while I'm doing these covers, and it seems to be going over, luckily. And that style is, of course, what I write in. As I branch out, I want to start doing shows with just originals, and I'll be doing that in places probably other than where I do the covers.
Kind of a slow progression.
Sounds
like you got a pretty well thought out plan.
Yeah, I've been really lucky as far as being able to make a living while I figure it out. This place, by the way, is awesome because there's so many places to play, and we've got the freedom. What I like to say is that I'm incubating an independent recording career.
There you go.
I like that.
Right.
Now, I like what before I asked you before, say how would you describe your music and that kind of stuff and what you play? I love this answer. You're gonna love this. Go ahead, tell them what you told me.
All right. Well, I was playing at a place over on Lido Key, and you kind of play in the lobby at this place. And so this guy walks by and tosses some money in the tip jar and says, "Ukulele music." And I'd never been able to answer people in one sentence what I do until he said that. I play ukulele music on a Stratocaster.
Cool. Is there a particular track on your CD you'd like to play for us or hear right now?
Yeah, sure thing. This song is called Island Time.
Is that the Island Time? Oh,
Island Time, yeah, he's got it marked there.
Right.
He knows the name of his song. He'll make a different name for his song. I think it's called Island Time. I don't know.
Mark, what a jerk.
You'd be surprised how many times I screw up the words to my own song. So
you have no chance. I screw up his last name. Don't worry about
it. Everyone screws up my last name. You're in the majority on that one. Hey, I got to throw out one quick thing that cracked me up, and I actually got somebody made a comment online when you mentioned Mr. Rick Fass.
Oh, yeah.
Who is not only a brilliant guitar player and teacher, but he's also one of these tone guru guys. He's put the pickups in all my guitars. Oh. He's made all my cables by hand. So the next thing
he makes cables?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He's actually taught you how to play guitar. Believe me, within a year, he'll be trying to put new pickups in all your guitars and things like that. So a little shout out to Rick Fass. He's the man. So let's go ahead and hear your song then. This is Mr. Mike Sales with the song Island Time off his album. What's it called, Mike?
Howlin' with Mike Sales.
Right on.
Here on the island of do anything, gotta dance, gotta drink. Got people back home, but stop and think, do you know anybody who could see 500 miles? When they ask why you didn't take pictures, flash them a smile, but have no fear. 'Cause if it's on island time, then it's on when you get down here. So let your hips follow your feet onto the floor, the band will meet you with the beat. See that knock, that was sweet. Last night was good, so let's repeat. Order top shelf, open a tab, party in style. Inhibitions go in the other room, kinda like coats in a pile. 'Cause if it's on island time, then it's on when you get down here. Oh yeah, it's all beneath you, but don't judge too soon. There's nothing like a skinny beer and onion ring breakfast at noon. 'Cause if it's on island time, then it's on when you get down here. Yeah, if it's on island time, then it's on when you get down here. Yeah, if it's on in time, then it's on when you get down here.
All right, that's Mr. Mike Sales off his original album, Howlin' with Mike. Is that correct?
Howlin' with Mike Sales, yeah.
All right. You got to snip it.
Way to stay on the job, Adam.
That's our genius recording engineer, Adam. Thanks, Adam. We're getting a phone call.
We should have actually turned that off, young lady, before you came.
Mike, let me ask you, like Dave, who called in there, was asking, for a new band and things like that. Can you kind of maybe describe some of the ways that you've gone about, number one, getting these gigs? Like you said, you just kind of cold called, it sounded like, but not only how you got some of these gigs, but how you worked out initial payment. Maybe, I'm not asking you to get into personal amounts that you get paid if you're not comfortable with it. Lee is.
I want to make sure I want to see if I'm getting ripped off.
but maybe just talk about your experience, because basically that caller is starting off and you started from scratch, and kind of explain what you did maybe a little bit.
Well, the way I look at what I do is it's a service business. I primarily play places where people are going. I was just telling Lee before the show started that there was around 300 people on the beach Friday night for the show. And I told him, he said, "Oh, you mean the Sunset was the headliner?"
No, you told me that. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, I like what you said. You said it's like, no, they were there for the sunset.
They were there for the beach,
and you just happened to be there.
Exactly. There you go. And so when they did show up to see the sunset and eat the food and all that, visit the tiki bar, they looked over and they said, "Oh yeah, Mike's there," and hopefully they were happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
They stuck around, they drank a little, and so those are the places that I play. And so in that transaction, they're not relying on me to bring business. They're relying on me to make their customers that much happier than they already are with the food and the sunset and the sand and the weather.
I like one thing you said when we talked before. You said it's like I go where the people are at. And so bringing them there, I go to where they're at, and I played there. I like the way you said that.
I agree. I think that's a good point. I've seen some musicians that have complained, of not being able to make a certain amount of money in a certain area or things like that. Bottom line is, if you have a vehicle, get in it and drive to an area where there's people.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to get around that.
Well, Mike, you do this for a living. This is your full-time job.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
And so to continue on that train, I went to that beach, and the way I got that gig was I showed up and said, "Hey, I want to come in here and audition." They said, "Well, all right, come on in Sunday." Well, all right, come on in.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's cool. So, so I went in and I did an audition for tips, and they said great. And then I got on their we'll call if somebody doesn't show up list.
Mm-hmm.
And so they called when someone didn't show up, and the second time they made a call, I was free when they needed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I got in their rotation that way. And once I got a regular day off that rotation, I started advertising that regular day. I joined the Chamber of Commerce. When I'm talking about, I don't fool around, because this is a business-to-business transaction in the way that I do it. And so once I get a gig, it's like a game of Monopoly. If you're out there listening right now, you can Google Mike Sales, and you'll find umpteen places with my schedule on it, because I make sure that it's up there. And so you can always find out where I'm at. I've got the website.
I noticed also your van outside is completely covered.
I saw that.
It's got a Mike Sales wrap on it.
Any stunts that I can think of, because just because the customers aren't necessarily there to see me, when they go there, they do see me. And when they leave and they see my advertisement somewhere, then they put it together. Oh, yeah, that's the guy that I saw at the beach.
How often do you play? Every day?
I play just about every day. Right now, my schedule that I'm putting together for the season is 2 shows a day, Monday through Friday.
Wow.
And then I'll start working on private events, and especially the original shows on the weekends.
Adam's telling me we got somebody on the phone here. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing? Mike, you've always done a great job. My hats off to you.
Who else would on it? Who is this?
Harvey, you're a monster. How you doing?
How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta break this market down to two things. You've got all the beach gigs from, Hudson down, the Clearwater Beach, and you've got your beach areas where, they're going to be packed every night. And you have to go ahead and play the music that those people want to hear in those places and what the club owners want to do. Very hard to get into those places because, in the great words of the guy over at the Sandbar in Anna Maria Island, when somebody dies here, we'll call you. Okay, so... pretty much, those are the places. I play a few of those. They're hard to get into. But the main thing down here is to survive. You have to, when the off season and when it gets cold and those places are closed, you have to draw. And that's that. So, and Mike does a great job. I wish more musicians would follow in the way he does his promotion and stuff. He does a great job. But I wanted to ask something to the Pittsburgh Mix, a question there.
Be nice.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm wondering that, I used to be a club owner in Chicago, so I totally understand. The way I actually was a manager of a club in Chicago, and my budget for bands was pretty much 10% of what we ran. If we ran $6,000 in alcohol sales, the band would get $600. If we ran 10,000, the band would get $1,000.
Well, I'm glad
how do you justify your sales? Do you do like a door
I do
charge?
20%. I give 20% of the sales.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
20% of the sales is what I pay the bands that come into the bar.
Okay, that's very very gracious. Now, how do you do it? How do you do it if a band's just starting? You just pretty much just pay a percentage or the door. How does Pittsburgh Mix do it?
Well, we don't do a door charge typically. When I first moved down here from Pittsburgh, and I never was a fan of, in all the bars I've worked at and ran, of door charges, but down here, I was told there's so many venues that do live music that there's no reason you can't charge a door charge because they'll just go to the next bar. And so I stuck with that advice, and I've not done a door charge. The only thing I've done a door charge for was my comedy shows when I had them come in. I also, we just had a recent electronic music fest at the end of December where the DJs and promoters for that charged their own door charge, and I didn't have anything to do with that. And that turned out well. But then for the original music bands, apparently I'm getting educated on the way they do it, and that's how they do it. They charge the door tickets pre-advanced sales. But for the regular shows, like any other band that I have come in there, there is no door charge ever for any of the customers. It is strictly based on sales. I start my clock at 8 o'clock at night also. The band doesn't start till 9:30. But I start because people start coming in earlier, so I want to make it fair to them. And
how long do you run the clock till?
Until they're done off the stage.
To the last song.
Right.
Okay.
So how come in Bradenton when I do my Black Sabbath tribute band, people will charge $5 and they'll pay it, and I'll get 200 people to pay it. Why wouldn't the people in Pinellas County pay $5 a piece to see And I did a split show with one of the bands that plays your Black Sabbath tribute band up there, Tomorrow's Dream. And they were on the bill with us at Aces with the Sabbath tribute. Why? I'm just wondering why they'll pay a cover in Bradenton, which I think that sometimes the demographics are less money. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
That's a good question. It's a tough one to say because it's like you really got to ask the customers themselves on that one. I think, my thinking is, but most of the guys who I talk to in bars and that kind of stuff, when they do charge a cover, it's usually the kiss of death here in the St. Pete area.
Yeah, I think Dawn's got something going on, with that, the three bands that are playing this weekend.
Yeah.
And basically what's gone on with that is I think they were given tickets in advance.
Right, I paid for the tickets.
Right.
I mean, they printed them up. I paid for the printing of them and their the posters to promote them.
Right, and they get to keep
the entire door.
And really for these and the bands that are playing doing this situation, Steve, have very good followings, and so they actually
We've already sold 150 tickets.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
I think
awesome.
actually what's going to end up happening is they're going to all come out ahead with this system, just because of the following.
So then you are charging a cover charge.
It's
Well, it's kind of more like I hate to say this word, I really do, because I lived in California for a while, and I really hate this.
pay to play.
Don't
But
do
pay
it.
to play. I know. I hate saying that word. I really do. But you know what? It actually does kind of work in this sense. Not the way
that's not paying
California
to play.
did it.
Dawn's not charging.
No,
Right.
That's
No,
not
she's not charging
charging
the tickets.
fans.
Right.
he's referring to the old way they did things in L.A. and a few
Right.
big cities for a while.
Like that. It's
No, I think selling tickets. I like what Sugar Fix is doing. I think selling tickets
Mhm.
and doing that ahead of time is a great idea. I have no qualms about that.
I think
Um,
I think that works out really
You know,
well. anyway.
paying to play is paying a club like $500 to use the room to get
Right.
to do a showcase.
And
Right.
you get
You
100
know, in front
tickets.
of the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I would never do
You know,
that.
that's
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, that was
No.
ridiculous.
No, there's
Yeah.
Even with the DJs that
I mean-
came in with the electronic music, they asked me what it'll cost to use my venue, and I said nothing.
Right.
You just bring the people in there, have a good time.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, the bar is, again, it's supposed to have fun.
Right.
Just a place to relax and escape your reality for a while.
Right.
And we
And-
do that over there at Pittsburgh. I admit,
Jack Daniels helps a lot.
Yeah, it goes a
You
long
know,
way.
I was reading a long article, and it was basically from a club owner's standpoint on, kind of rebutting all these complaints that the musicians have a lot. And, it's not always about just bodies in a bar, because bodies don't equal revenue.
Exactly.
It's about actually, selling things to the bodies in the bar. So,
Yeah.
It's making them feel comfortable
Well,
as well.
that's
Yeah.
a good question too, because I've done places before where it's like I played that and it's been places packed, right? And it's like, but unfortunately for whatever reason, and I usually blame the bartenders on this one, is like the revenue wasn't there, and but there's bodies in the place, but they're not buying. I don't know why. I'm on stage playing. I have no idea what's going on over there.
In general or in Pittsburgh Mix?
No, in general,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I never had that problem in Pittsburgh Mix at all. No,
That's what I was going to say.
No.
I usually work
Yeah,
lease.
no. I never had that problem at Pittsburgh Mix. But then at the end of the night, they come to pay me and they say, well, we really didn't have that great of a night. Revenue was down, blah, this and that. I was like, well, how are you talking about? The place was packed. Where everybody's dancing, having a good time. You guys weren't selling anything. I mean, I blame that one on the staff more than anything else. In that point,
If I could,
No, because I'll tell you why. Because people aren't drinking as much anymore, and people are going to stop drinking, and you're going to see most bars fall by the wayside dead because they can't figure out ways to make money. It costs too much now with the liquor distributors and everything else, so
This is
bars
true.
are falling right and left.
DUI
Can't
laws aren't
afford
helping.
bars are done.
yeah.
Goodbye.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty much what's going on.
right.
I'm sure you're happy to hear that, huh?
Yeah. I know. I've heard of a lot of bars closing more
Yeah.
recently again.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, sure.
Steve, let me let you go. We got other people lined up
Yeah,
behind you like
bye-bye.
crazy.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
Hey,
brother.
Steve,
I hope
Thank
you're
you.
feeling better, Steve.
When Mike was talking about how he built what he does, basically,
Mhm. His empire.
yeah, his burgeoning empire.
I'm working on it.
I'm just.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Were you calling me?
Who's this?
It's Regina.
Oh, is this Regina?
Yeah.
Yeah, Regina. I just was trying to answer you online there, so I was curious. Were you trying to get me, or was I trying to get you? I was not calling you. I was a little busy.
Okay.
Can you guys pass these notes at lunchtime, maybe?
By the
We got
way-
a show we're doing here.
By the way, just so
Where
everybody
are you
knows.
with? Are you with Lee?
Yeah, this is
Who else would be here?
This is Regina from the Safety Harbor Musicians Co-op on the line here, just
Hi,
in case.
Regina.
We're live on the air, Regina.
Hi, Regina.
Hi.
Hi, Regina.
How are you guys? I was calling to see if I could see your show online.
We're
It's on
on there
right
right now, baby.
It's
Oh,
on
you
right now.
are? Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
How can I look at it?
I'll
Because-
send you a link online right now. How's that, okay?
You're on the show. You don't
You
even
can
have
go
to
to
look at it.
rockslam.com.
Regina's
Hold
going to be
on, wait a
one of our
minute.
guests coming up
I
soon,
think I found
also.
it.
Yep, we're speaking to you on it right now.
Yeah, Regina's going to be one of our
How's
guests.
everything going? Good?
Everything's going pretty well. Yeah, we have Dawn Barrett from Pittsburgh Mix here and Mike Sales,
It's going
songwriter,
awesome.
Good.
singer here.
I like how you did that. It's kind of like, Dawn, Barrett and Mike Sales. He's like, he had to make sure. We're
say
so
Dawn.
pro. We're so pro over
Just
here.
Dawn's fine.
Yeah.
We're so pro
Oh,
over
it's-
here.
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. I think I found a link. Okay, hold on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stream you. I'm going to start watching.
Better.
Well,
Call
thanks
me-
for
give me a
calling and
call
telling
later
us
on,
that.
okay? I'm glad you're doing this. I think it's great.
Okay. Thanks, Regina.
All right, cut that phone call quick.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye, Regina Dawn.
I was gonna put in just kind of put my 2 cents in. I ran nightclubs for quite a while, as I said, and one of the things that that I don't want to do now that I'm here is run a nightclub again, and that includes worrying about what the bar sold. Once I get hired to play, and I'm going to start doing original shows and things like that, so I'm going to have to develop a draw. And I've got a pretty solid plan on how I'm going to do that. And as I get that draw, that's going to be my capital. So if I bring places to a people to a place, if I can charge a cover, that's all the better. If I can't charge a cover, or it doesn't make sense, then I'll get my guarantee. But as far as my compensation being tied to whether or not the people in the club drink, that's not my job. I'm there to play music, and if you want me to make some announcements, I'd be happy to make any announcements you want. And if those announcements are about, hey, everybody do a shot, I'll do that too, because I'm working for the club owner at that point. But the primary purpose or the primary goal is to develop a fan base, because when I have a fan base, if I play a place that a bar that can't seem to get customers to drink, I can bring my fan base anywhere I want. And at some point, I'll be able to make all the money I want.
But playing 2 times a day, 5 days a week, do you think that same fan base will come see you each and every show wherever you're at?
That is a great question, and Lee asked it before the show. I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad a bar owner said that and realized that fact.
No, as a matter of fact,
Or venue owner, I should say.
Like I said, the goal is to head over to this side of the Skyway and do original music from here, and start from scratch and build a fan base here, and eventually, when I get high enough so that you can actually see me from there
Careful
over
the
the
words you
Skyway,
use, okay? It's like,
then some people will eventually head over to the Skyway if it's a big enough event, or if I start making a lot of hay with my originals. But no, I intend to build a fan base wherever my feet land.
But again, do you think they'll come see you every night after night? If you're playing at 5 different venues, do you think that fan base, you realize that they're not going to come every night? Right.
I guess I didn't.
Sometimes I think I can explain a little bit what he's saying is he's using the 2 shows a week, 5 days a week,
right,
as a building process to develop this, playing these shows that he's doing now with covers and just an entertaining beach type show. He's using that to develop a fan base, a core fan base that gets to know his name. And then as he develops more original materials and perhaps moves out larger in the area, the shows over here perhaps wouldn't be twice a day every night. They would be maybe larger events, correct?
But actually, what I've done with these 5 days a week, 2 shows a day, what I do is I feed my dog, I pay my rent, I buy snazzy clothes, I put advertisements out. That's what I do for a living. Right now, I'm a cover musician for a living. What I want to be is an independent recording artist. I've got 1 CD that sold just under 1,000, and hopefully the next one will sell more. But as a cover artist, if you notice, Prince doesn't play 5 days a week in St. Pete either.
Exactly.
He did in Las Vegas, but those are people that are leaving every week. So as I start to do this original thing, it'll be a thing where I advertise.
Are you going to wear the Butler's plants
and then
Prince?
once no.
Okay.
And and once I do get to a point where people will come to see a show in St. Pete, I'm off to Tampa. Now it's time to do that in Tampa.
Right.
Now it's time to do that in Orlando. Now it's time to do that in Naples, and spread it out and become what I want to become is popular and rare, in demand and rare. So I'm glad you asked that question, and I'm glad we kind of threw it around, because that's my that's my game plan. That's how I'm going to develop that, because the value of an iPod is based by how many different artists are on it. because nobody wants to hear the same artist all the time.
Right.
Right.
You know, one thing I wanted to ask Dawn is like, because not too many bands do pay in percentage. They'll pay like most bands are used to getting a guarantee, but it's like
$300 to $500 probably.
yeah, somewhere in that range. Or, 75. Some bands will pay for 75. I don't know who you are. Don't do it ever again. But I'm in the words of Steve Harvey, I'm talking to you. But no, it's like most bands are used to that. And you're what you say? I'll give you 20% of what I'm taking, right? And I'm paying you that. Now, what kind of interference or what reactions you get from the bands who are used to the other way, and you say, no, this is how I'm doing it, this is how it's done here?
Some of them don't like it, but some of them have seen the reason why I've done it that way. A lot of the bands that come into the Pittsburgh Mix have been cover bands, and it's not for their lack of talent by no means. It's just the economy. The people aren't coming out, or if there was something else going on in the area that weekend, or if they played not too far away from Pittsburgh Mix, the night before, or they're playing somewhere not too far from Pittsburgh Mix the next night. They're not going to, the people aren't going to come out and see them every, 2 nights in a row. Unfortunately, back 10 years ago, 20, or even in Pittsburgh, and from what I understand down here, I'm only down here not even 2 years yet. So I don't know the whole
history of the area, right?
So, but from what I've been told, back in the 70s, 80s, just like up in Pittsburgh, the economy was booming. People were booming. You didn't have the DUI laws like you did. And we offer the Safe Ride Home program through United Taxi, which
that's a great program too. Which go ahead.
Within, the first $25 is free. So if you have within 10 miles of Pittsburgh Mix, you leave your car there, you get a ride home for free.
Oh, that's great.
So you're avoiding the DUI, and we've tried promoting that as much as we can. But we only can promote as much as people are willing to listen.
Sure.
So, as far as the feedback, like some of the bands have made hardly any money. And it's not, I'm still trying to build my business. I do have a regular, the regulars that come in that will be there every Friday or Saturday, whether I have anything or nothing.
Right.
But then, the bands do bring their followings as well. Some bands have brought great followings. Some bands have not brought any. They've both, the bands that I've had play there with the 20%, they've gotten the better and they've gotten the worse end of the deal.
Sure. I think what you're doing with that system is really putting a little bit of responsibility on those bands to really work it, which I got to say, I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Because you should be doing that anyway. But if you've got, I'm gonna get bombarded for saying this as a musician.
I got you back.
But honestly, if you've got and the guarantees now aren't very good, so that sucks too. But the bottom line is, if you've got this certain guarantee, say $350, $400, whatever, and that's there. Maybe you show up a little late. Maybe you aren't quite.
You're guaranteed the money, so you can do whatever
so you're not,
want.
Maybe you're not letting as many people know. Maybe you really don't have any pressure on you. It would be nice if real life was that way now, and you could just show up and be a rock star on Friday night, 10 minutes before,
Right.
But unfortunately, and especially now with all the tools that are available to market and put yourself out there, I think really that puts the, listen to this word, the onus on the musicians a little bit.
We may have to go commercial while we get out of shock over here.
Lee may have to go get the dictionary out and check that one out.
Right here on the phone.
There's your $5 for that word.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was
but
cool.
I really think that doing it that way is it's
we have to work together.
It has to be worked together.
It has to
Absolutely.
be worked together.
Now,
You have to understand that, especially now, like I said, I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking for passion. I'm just asking for people to understand. It's not just me.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of bars that have closed.
Oh, yeah.
And I provide my own sound system. I've invested a lot of money into my bar.
Really nice.
And a lot of people.
That's amazing. Yeah.
There's a lot of bar owners out there like me that we've invested. This is our dream. These people, I've heard, some bar owners that don't, that just wanted to buy a bar and just because they thought it would be cool, and I've been in the bar business for 22 years. I've started off as a bartender at 20 years old. I wasn't even old enough to drink and I started bartending. And I continued to do that as a second income.
Hold on, Don. We got a call coming in. Hello?
I'm sorry, Don.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hold on, Don. We got a call coming in. Hello?
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, turn your computer down.
It doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
It's on their phone, too.
It's
Hang on 1 second.
Okay, we're gonna
Hanging on.
All right. Hey, guys, this is Key.
Keith?
Key Bland from Sugar Fix on the phone.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
How's it going?
Hi, Keith.
It's going pretty well. You know,
You got any-
Tell us about it, Keith. Don't jump.
Looking forward to seeing you on
And
Saturday.
we don't know.
all right. Well, Sugar Fix is playing at Pittsburgh Mix on Saturday, January 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are $7.
And you have them available, correct?
Yes.
And people can find you on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
And
At facebook.com/SugarFix.
Yeah.
SugarFix is spelled PHIX.
You have a question, Keith?
Yeah, you got any questions or comments
For
about
Dawn
what
or
we're
for
talking
Mike?
about here, about musicians getting paid?
Or even to me or Mark, if you got a question for us.
Well,
I'm not going to follow you home. It's not going to get any harder.
all right. From, well, pretty much the only thing I have to say is from Pittsburgh Mix, we go to Cape Coral and to Bradenton, to Sanford.
And we can
They're
find us
not
all.
staying in one area is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, we can find us all on your Facebook page, and you have your schedule up there on your website. What's your website?
Yeah, we have a schedule up there.
What's your website?
I've got somebody filling me in on what's going on right now.
All right, Key, I tell you what, man, I'm going to let you go. I will promo the fact that I know you've been in the studio and you got a brand new album coming out very soon. We're looking forward.
cool.
I'd actually like to have you guys in as a guest when that comes out. I'm excited to hear it. It's going to be some of the best original new hard rock I think we've heard in a long time. So we'll talk to you soon, Key, and I'll make sure that people have your Facebook page up here, okay?
All right, that sounds really good.
We'll
Later,
see you
brother.
Saturday.
Can't
Have a
wait
good
to be on
show
the man.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to
Thanks,
go see
Keith.
that show.
Yep.
Excellent. And where we were at now before with Dawn.
We got another phone call here? Nope, we're
No?
good? Okay.
Where
Where were
you
we?
saying?
I'm sorry.
I
about
have no clue.
All right.
I lost it, too.
I'll tell you what, we're drawn down here. Time just flies on this, and I hope we've covered some ground on this. It's been interesting for me, but I'd like to give Mike the opportunity to maybe play one more of his tunes since he was so good to come all the way over here for us.
Can I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
When you were talking, I'm listening to what your place sounds like, and the way I think about it is I'm not gonna jump across the table after the show and give you my business card and hey, can I play? Because I know I'm not ready to play there yet.
Right.
And so what I'm thinking is I can't wait until I'm ready to play Dawn's place.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Aw.
I think he's got a
That's
great
Aw.
point.
Now, like I've had the band April Calling come in. They came in, they started there, and they played there every single Friday night from June until October, and then their keyboardist got sick, and then they had to dismember for a while. They're coming back. They are doing all original. They're working on I think they're on their 10th or 11th song right now, and they're doing original. They'll do covers as well.
When they
but
coming back?
House
they
gig.
should be back at the end of February, beginning of March. They are, they have built a fan base in my bar. Since they have been gone, they started off, and I have, said this. I went on a rant one time on Facebook too about all the beating up I've been getting, and I defended them, and I shouldn't. I've been told I don't have to defend, just do what I'm doing.
Sure.
But a person can only take so much.
Yeah.
It
It
and
gets personal after a while.
right. And Gus from April Calling, he's the one that's helping with this vocalist search. He's helping to make Pittsburgh Mix the bar that it should be. The place to go. Because it is a great place. It's not just because it's my place. The setup of this bar is phenomenal. You walk in, there's the tables and chairs, there's the dance floor, there's a huge stage with its in-house sound. Then you come in, there's 25 seats around the big bar. Then you can go back and there's a little lounging area. Then you go back and there's pool tables, and then there's the outside
There's the
patio
outside
bar.
patio.
And we have a musician, JP, that's been playing out there every Saturday night. So we're trying to make it what I consider is a full variety entertainment venue. We've had comedy in there. We've had the electronic music in there. We've had, the solo artists in there, and we've had the bands in there. Now, like I said, April Calling is the band house band. They wouldn't be my house band. They promoted. They put out there's 10 disc CDs.
Mm-hmm.
They've got flyers everywhere. They put out T-shirts. They come out and talk to the audience in between their sets. They helped promote themselves and my bar. Again, they're doing it again with this vocalist search. The thing is, they were getting, ridiculed because how can you play in the same place every week?
If
They
it works,
can.
if it ain't broke, don't fix
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, we
yeah.
got one more call here. Let's see who we got on the line. Hello. Hello there.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey.
I was listening to the whole conversation. Didn't realize I was on air. This is Melanie Massell. I'm down in Bradenton.
Hey, Melanie. How are you?
Melanie.
Nice to hear your voice again.
Hey.
I have no idea who you are, but hi.
She's a great singer.
Oh, yes, she is.
Excellent.
And she plays everywhere.
Thank you. I'm totally confused, so I guess I'm just going to put my computer away because
Yes.
I know y'all
Melanie,
told everybody else.
Melanie, there's a 4-second
Right.
delay, so you just got to kind of wait for it.
Okay, can you hear me clear?
Sure.
Yes.
Perfect. First of all, I missed the very beginning and the introduction of Dawn, but I've been taking copious notes, another big word, and
It's another $5 you
I
guys
want to play
spend
there.
now.
So I've asked you to friend me on Facebook, and then we can discuss that later off the air. The second thing is kudos to Mike Sales. Love your songs, and just got to officially meet you a couple of weeks ago. So the business is so exciting, and this is a great area of performing, but also, the musicians are a plethora of musicians. Everywhere you turn, you don't even realize you're sitting next to such great talent. And the same as clubs and venues to play, and I really don't know why I'm calling other than I'm real excited for your for your show, and want to be a part of it in the future. That's
good.
probably it.
Well,
I
Melanie,
don't have anything to say other than
Well,
I'm really excited in
you said
where you guys are
copious. I mean,
taking this
come on.
off.
Yeah.
If musicians and venue owners can learn to work together, then I love Dawn's policies about you helping the band as much as the band helping you. It is a business. There's so many people that don't realize it's a business.
Right.
It is not a popularity contest. It is not. I don't believe in can you fill the house. It's how much can you make my cash register ring. If you have a whole house full of people that are dancing and drinking water, that doesn't do anything. I
you
played
charge
at
a
the
lot of water, money
Ritz-Carlton
for
for
water.
2.5 years, and a lot
We
of
got
the
great
people
water
there,
at Pittsburgh
that's
Mix,
what
let
they
me tell
did.
you.
A lot of water.
I play at Marina Jacks every Thursday, and they're more interested in letting the people there, just like Mike said, play at the places where the people are coming. The people are going to be at Marina Jack, and so our goal is to keep the people there and give them a good time, to make them thirsty, make them hungry, make them remember their experience there because they want to come back. All of those little things. So,
hey, Melanie.
not telling you anything you don't know.
Melanie, I want to thank you so much for calling in today. I hate to cut you off. We've got phone calls just lined up here. In fact, the show's probably going to go a little bit long today because of it. Thank you
guys don't
so
mind a little
much
bit?
for the
Yeah, a little
participation.
We'll try.
Yeah, no worries. I'm excited. Kudos.
You go with DMV?
I was afraid I was going
No,
to
I
miss
gotta
the
go.
track.
All right, we'll see you later, Melanie. Thank you.
One thing I want to bring up real quick before we go to the next phone calls is like, well, a lot of guys, what started this whole show off, right, and especially this segment in particular, there was a sign going around Facebook and over the internet, and what it was a breakdown of musicians' costs for a gig, right? From like their instrument stuff, gas prices, yada yada. And at the end of it all, it added up a total. And at the end of it all, they said, "Do you still think $300 is a lot to ask?" Right, which is a fair question, right, for a musician to ask an owner. But we just flip it down to the other side of the coin. This is the part that a lot of musicians don't realize yet. A lot of guys, they think of you as bar owners, and I look straight at her as I say this, as like the green-eyed monster, and they're really not. They're in the same boat as we are. They're in the
Just
same business
running a
as we
business.
are. You know,
Trying
but
to
just
make a
give
profit.
quick rundown. You have stuff like, and tell me if I'm missing anything. You have your rent.
Correct.
You have your liquor costs.
Correct.
You have, and then we get to the big money stuff, like your
The rent's
your,
big money.
Well, yeah,
that's one
true.
of the biggest.
But then you have your license, your alcohol
Insurance.
license,
License,
right?
insurance.
You have your insurance. You have your
ASCAP
your
fees,
ASCAP,
your
BMI, and
Sky.
Sky.
Yep.
Right, Sky, not Ski, and
The electric. It depends on what.
all that stuff. And it's like and we left out a bunch.
paper products,
Mhm.
broken
Oh.
glasses, replacing the glasses that everybody breaks because
Right.
you know,
Legal costs because
the pop-
drunks trying to sue you.
Oh, let's talk
Um,
about that build out that you had to pay for and comply with all those codes just to get your doors open.
Exactly.
It's insane.
I mean, some clubs have to open to turn the key, right? Just to open up the business for that day. They got to make like say, I don't know,
I can tell you,
$1,200
mine's $700 a day.
Yours is $700 a
I'm
day.
honest.
All right, there you go.
$700 a day.
So you're cheap.
Do you want to sell your club?
But that's how she got in this business. But no, it's like, so it's $700. So in other words, it's like if you're a band and you come in and
Before
play
I can
and
make
you
any
make
profits, I have 7 days a week, 700 a day, is $4,900 a week. I must make just to pay those bills.
So you show up that day and the bar has made $500 and you want $300 of that money, right? So you think, do the math, folks.
Yeah.
That's
know?
why the venues are closing, unfortunately.
All righty. Hey, we got another call coming in, I believe, don't we?
Another call.
Hello, anybody there?
So we're calling
I guess
somebody?
we're
Are we
calling
calling?
somebody.
I want a pizza anyway.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, is this from the talk show?
Yes.
Yeah, how are you? My name is Manny.
Hey, Manny.
Manny, you got a question for us? There's about a 4-second delay, so just bear with it.
Gotcha. I'm not going to be about the thing. Yeah, I just recently, in the
yelled
last
at
few
me.
months, moved here from Nashville and New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hey, that's my hometown,
Oh, which one?
New Orleans.
Oh, man, I used to live on Constance and Race, dude, for many, many years.
Oh, no, I'm sorry about that.
What's that? Right where it turns into magazine.
Right, we
you
took to
know?
the magazine, right?
Yeah, man.
Right. Excellent, man. Excellent. Nice
what's your
meeting
name?
you. I'm Lee.
Hey, Lee, what's up, man? I used to
What's
work
up,
with the
man?
Neville Brothers for years, and Mac Rebenack, and all
Uncle
Cyril
Mac.
and all them. But
Actually, what's your last name?
I just recently. Pardon?
What's your last name, Martin?
Manny.
Manny.
Giannis.
Manny what?
Giannis.
Hey, nice meeting you, brother. What's your question, bro?
Let me step out. Yeah, my question is, I've moved here, and I'm kind of used to doing business a little different, doing on the business end, and I've had conversations with a couple of, I work in a local band that, they seem to be pretty well established, and we've run into a couple of glitches as far as like, there was maybe a double booking, or the gentleman that had booked our date no longer works for the establishment anymore. And I brought up that why don't we all get together and maybe sign contracts? And the response that I gotten from most cats is that they think that if they were to bring up the subject of a contract to the club owner or whoever does the bookings, that it would scare them and they wouldn't want to book it. They all seem apprehensive, and at the end of the day, it covers both parties. As sometimes, there's some band that might be booked at a club and they might get a higher paying gig and they'll stiff the club.
Mm-hmm.
And or vice versa, where, they've double booked you and you're counting on doing that gig and you show up to the venue, which has happened to me in this situation a couple of times. And, a simple contract, it is business, and all these clubs and venues.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Let's find out. Let's ask Dawn right quick and see what she feels about that. It's like, all right, being a club owner, if a band came to you with a contract, right? How do you feel about that? Would you want to go into the kind of contractual deal with them on that, or, I mean, say everything's like copacetic, and it's like they want you your percentage. Right, and it's like, but they want to put it down all in
It's
writing.
been brought to my attention that we should, have a signed contract, because some of the bands that have come in there said that they were told one thing, and then when they get there, they say, "Oh no, this isn't what it was." But the only person booking the bands, and I mean, yeah, Gus was helping me book the bands, but Gus and I were back, on the phone. He'd call me before he did anything, at the time, and he'd say, "This is what we're doing. Is this sound okay with you?" Always double check with me. He was the only other person that booked the bands besides myself. So when I left that night, there's been bands and they're like, "Oh no, the deal was this," when I know what that deal was.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, a simple contract
as opposed
is.
To, what I'm saying is, as opposed to, the verbal thing is fine, but if there's a document, be it even an email,
Okay, so how would you
agreeing
handle
that look,
this?
we're here on that date. I mean, what my
Here's
because I'm
my
used
question.
to dealing in that capacity. My deal is, why are the musicians so scared here to even approach, the proprietor or
Well, what
whoever's
if they
doing the
cancel
booking
on
to have
me?
a contract?
What's the repercussion to the band if they cancel out
That's
on
a
me?
good question. What would be the
Do I get
repercussion?
compensated?
Well, no. What if the band cancels on the club, and then they're liable to be taking the small business call, and they should compensate for the loss of the club as well as if the artist
that's
is
happened to me as
canceled on a
well.
contract.
Mhm.
I mean, and not that anybody would cancel. I would think that if everybody's on the straight up and up,
Oh, they
and it's all
cancel.
business,
I've had several cancel.
You had one just a couple weeks ago.
I have 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Oh, wow. I have a question.
and so if you had a contract signed, then you can hold these bands liable for it, or vice versa, the venue. And in both cases, it covers both parties. And I would think, I'm an honest man. If I sign a contract and I say that I'm going to come play for you, then I'm going to come do that. And what I wonder, look, I come from Louisiana, and as Lee will tell you, they're as crooked as it gets there.
Hey, Manny.
They're as crooked as it gets there. But nonetheless,
Hey, Manny.
Well, I think Mike has something he wants to say to you.
I just had a
Quick.
question for you, Manny. Are you doing solo gigs, or are you the band leader in this scenario?
No. In this situation, I'm a side man. It's just,
Okay.
I've been on the road with some successful bands before, and so what happens is the poor band leader has his side man come out. It gets canceled. Then he feels bad for the cats, and then I just mentioned to him, hey, maybe a good idea to do is, even if it's not a contract, maybe a verbal agreement on email, just besides, hey, you guys are playing here. In one situation, the gentleman that booked it was let go of the club, and then nobody knew that was there. We showed up to the gig, which had been booked, 4 or 5 months before. And we show up there with our gear and everything, and you find out that there's another band playing. And,
well, I can speak to that. I can speak to that notion, especially around here. Like for instance, a couple of weeks ago, we got rained out. I play on the beach. We got rained out. I wasn't able to let the guy, my drummer, know that we were rained out, and so when we got there, I paid for his gas. I probably paid, twice as much as was for his gas. But and the next day, and he, I bet he went to Taco Bell with that money. No, but so then the next week he came out. Whereas he very well could have gotten another gig with another guy because, if he thought I wasn't a stand-up kind of whatever. And so what I'm saying is you as a musician kind of, pick the guys that you're going to work with based on how they take care of you. Whether or not they have a contract to get paid is immaterial unless you're the guy dealing with the venue. And if you do want a contract, just ask the club owner for a contract. It doesn't have to be a uniform way of doing business.
My question is that a lot of guys and had to sit down with 5 or 6 different band leaders, and I brought that subject on, and they were so all apprehensive and scared that they said, well, we asked the club owner for a contract. He's never going to want us to come back and play again because.
But if you're talking booking 5 months out,
and that's not it's not a matter of mistrust. It's business. Everything else.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what, Manny. I'll tell you what. I hate to cut you short on this one because we got some great questions, and we're going to talk about contracts in another show and that kind of stuff. And do me a favor, get his name and number for me. Right? Because are you in the area? You live here in the area?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
maybe we can have you up and out.
Cool.
Perfect.
Cool. We'll try to get you on the show too, because you sound like someone I want to talk to some more. And plus, it's like hey man, Louisiana brother, we gotta get to know each other. So
you're right.
But it's like we'll do that, and then we'll do that, and we're gonna cover contracts and that kind of stuff on another show. And we definitely want to talk to you more about that then. But I hate to cut you short on this. But thanks for calling, brother.
Thank you so much for your time, man. You guys have a wonderful day.
You do the same, brother.
Good luck with
Take it easy, man.
Leisure bon.
I believe we have another call here. This is kind of crazy. Great reaction to the show today, and I appreciate all the calls.
We're making some great phone calls today.
Yeah. We're having to call folks
If you don't call us, don't worry, we'll call you.
Yeah, hi, this is Mark from the Guitars, Bars, and Local Stars radio show. Did you try to call us?
Yes, I did. I'm just going to turn the computer down so I don't get distortion.
Okay.
Thanks. I keep thinking someone's going to answer and goes yes, I want to order pizza.
Yeah, where's our money for Taco Bell?
And who is this? And you are going to have like about a 4-second delay on your phone, so just bear with it.
Okay.
So who is this we're talking to?
Hey, Mike Sales. It's Allie Kelly.
Allie Kelly, how are you doing? From where will we go tonight?
That's right. Where we go tonight. And hello, Mark and Lee and Dawn.
Hi there.
Hi, Dawn.
You know, Allie was right there with me when I started all this kind of stuff. She helped
she's
me
to blame?
she helped me get started. She's responsible for my first newspaper interview. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You're doing awesome. I've been following you and really happy for all the success you've got. And Dawn, I wanted to say hello. I'm your rep from GoTonight.com.
Hi, Allie.
Hi. And that's all. I really didn't have any questions. I just wanted to say hi, and I'm watching, and I check in every week, and, nice to see you all.
Well, thank you.
Allie, thanks so much for the call. And Allie brings up a good point, and I'd like to mention these folks. This is the lead-in. Mm-hmm. I really want to thank, number one, I want to tell you that this show is proudly brought to you by Talkwad Network. And please check out the other shows on the Talkwad Network at www.talkwad.com.
I would never get you that.
I know. Also want to thank GoTonight.com, Jane's World Entertainment, and Billy McKnight and the Soul Circus Cowboys for their sponsorship of this show. We're running over here, folks, and I appreciate Dawn's time. Thank you for coming in today, Dawn.
Thank you, guys.
And Mike Sales is here. And I'd really like to end the show perhaps with one more song from Mike. If you'd like to pick something out, Mike, I thank you very much for making the effort to get in here today.
Oh, this has been great.
And I have to say, I think we probably... I don't know, hopefully we answered a few questions. I mean, it's been an interesting conversation for me.
We may have to pick this up again sometime.
Yeah, this is definitely an hour has not been long enough for us to cover this.
My only final thought is just as long as we all can work together and everyone understands it's not for their lack of talent, it's not for the lack of the bars trying, it's the lack of the jobs in the economy. That everybody has to come together and realize, the bands are not Prince, and they're not, Guns N' Roses that are coming into the bars to play, right. And they're not on record labels yet. Mm-hmm. I know that's their goals, but at the same token, so they don't have. When you're paying, and this is the only thing I'm gonna say, if you're paying if it's a 5-piece band, $100 a night for 4 hours, that's $25 an hour. That's they're getting paid, but that's like a union job. They're not in a union right now. Yes, they're entertainers and everything, but with the economy, they have to understand. A lot of the minimum wage is now $7-something an hour. I understand that, but at $10 an hour, get $40 a man. That's even if they would bring it down more reasonably, instead of at some of the other venues, maybe they would understand it more instead of just a percentage. But at my place, on a $3,000 night, they're getting paid $600 instead of the $500.
I think you summed it. I think really it all comes down, and it's one of the reasons Lee and I and Sherry from Go Tonight got this show even off the ground or started discussing it, is because I think, and we had a lot of people that called in. Regina from the Safety Harbor Co-op called in today. Right. Steve Harvey called in. These are all people that really want to
call anybody.
Yeah, these are people that want to network and work together. It's not about the bad club owner or the lazy musician.
But there has been bad mouthing on there,
and you know what?
Yeah. It's always going to happen.
It's always
all
happen.
bad club owners. They're all bad musicians.
Right, because it's word of mouth. Word of mouth's good, word of mouth's bad. It's always word of mouth.
I'm sure there's things that...
Can I say something, Dawn? I think that this show today brings us all together, so it's a two-way street, and we all work together to improve things and to clear up some of the misconceptions.
Because I know I've heard a lot of the bars around in the area are stopping the live bands as well because of it. They're going to DJs and they're going to karaoke's and different things just because. I don't want to quit it. I have a lot of time and invested into the sound system alone in my establishment and the stage. I have a huge stage, and I enjoy the live music, and so do the customers. It's just my bottom line is we all need to work together.
Right. And also,
absolutely, and support local live music together.
I'm right there with you, Allie. I was just going to say, if there's hopefully there's a lot of non-musicians and just music lovers that may be watching this or tune in at some point. Please go out and just support local music somewhere as much as you can.
Absolutely.
I always say it's like adopt a bar, and go there at least once or twice a month at the very least.
Enjoy the food they have at the venue. Have a couple of drinks, whatever it may be, and
we don't have food in ours. We just have David's Barbecue outside. It's Outlaw Country Barbecue. It's some good food.
There you
He's
go.
here on Friday.
Way to plug, Dawn.
It is good.
It is good. No, it is. It's excellent.
Yeah,
it really
it's
is.
very good.
Anyway, we're gonna let you go, Allie. We're over
I'm
on the
gonna
show.
hang.
Yeah,
Bye,
we're gonna
Mike.
get to the
Nice
post
to
office.
see
See
you.
you, Allie.
Wave.
How about
Mike,
this one?
wave.
What?
I want Mike Sales to wave.
Wait.
Mike,
There
are
you-
you sleeping, Mike?
4-second delay.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the
See you
delay.
later.
All right.
Let's try
Thanks,
that one.
Allie.
No crying on the dance floor. That sounds interesting.
You want to hear? Can we play that one for you?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, we were going to close the show with this song from Mike Sales. Want to thank everybody today for
Thank you, guys.
Can I do a plug?
calling in so much. And yeah, we're
You
gonna
want to
give
say a
Mike
final word real quick, Mike?
Yeah,
Just
go
do
ahead.
a plug. Monday's coming up here real soon. I'll be on the Kathleen D out of the Mar Vista, singing to the Sunset Cruise. Thursday night this week and every week I'll be at Blue Q on Siesta Key. And every Friday there's a drum circle for a half hour right before sunset. And then I play Under the Stars at the Anna Maria Island Beach Cafe right there at the Manatee Public Beach.
And then my
And
last
you can-
plug is don't forget about the Mayhem Local Live,
Mhm.
our vocalist extravaganza contest. It's every Thursday starting at 7 o'clock. Make sure you come in and sign up. And just for all you fans out there that know, April Calling is coming back. They'll be back the end of February, beginning of March.
Where you going to be at, Mark?
I
this
am
week?
going to be in bed trying to get rid of this chest cold. That's where I'm going to be.
Saltwater.
And
I'm
you
going
can always
nowhere
find
near
me
him.
at Pittsburgh Mix.
Yeah.
Besides now.
Yeah, I'll be over at Thursday night over at the Ricks on the River.
You'll be at Pittsburgh Mix tomorrow night.
I'll be at, that's right, tomorrow night. I'll be at Pittsburgh Mix hosting the trivia show. Right? Come on, get stumped by Lee. And I like that's cute. And then Friday night, I'll be over. Where am I going to be Friday? Somewhere, I forget. Just look at my schedule, see it there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
stuff. I don't remember these things.
you know, I'm looking online here trying to let you guys know what the show's going to be about next week. I can't get on there right now, so there'll be plenty of advertisements. Probably too many, drive you all crazy. Let's close the show now with Mike Sales' song.
Oh, real
off
quick
the-
before I forget, because I
Go
just
ahead.
remember where it was Friday night. It's one of my favorite places to play. And it's going to kill me not saying
Lee.
this.
Go ahead.
It's the Cajun Cafe, the Cajun Blues Roadhouse on 34th Street and 30th Avenue. The guy's a lot bigger than me, and if I don't
He is
say
very
he's,
big. I met him
Yeah.
yesterday. He
Whip
came in
your
the mix.
ass.
dude, let me tell you what, he will kick me. He
Very
will kill
nice
me
guy.
if I don't mention his club. He's like, you forgot my club? He's like, I just did. All right.
Awesome. This is No Crying on the Dance Floor by Mike Sales off his album Howling with Mike Sales. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Down on the island, girls get away together, helping a friend through stormy weather. The one by the stage with that look in her eye, asking, could you slow it down? Missing some guy who ain't around. I tell her my guitar only breaks hearts when he cries. That's why I don't play sad songs for memories to prey on. I play the good island beat to your feet, remind you what your heart's for. From the time the doors open